the types of people after high school. This video talks about all the people that you will see, all the archetypes of people you'll see after high school, and maybe I'll relate to one of them, maybe you guys will relate to some of them. Let's see what's in this video.
You did it. You graduated. You survived 4 years of awkward class presentations, school lunches that probably violated the Geneva Convention, and your Discord group chat did not get leaked. But now you're out. You're free. And suddenly that question hits like a truck. So what's next? Some people...
Yep, that hit me so hard. Pause. But like, I honestly, high school, firstly, let me just say, you said 4 years in high school. In Australia, where I'm from, we have 6 years. I don't know how you have 4 years in high school. But anyway, we have 6 years in high school. I always was bouncing about. I wanted to do mechatronics so bad. Mechatronics is like robotics, right? I was so set on that for so long because I'm like, oh, robots are the future. They're so sick. And I was so interested in them. And then I just started swapping to like code and programming and computer science because I started coding in high school and I was so set on that. And here's the thing. Once I graduated, I got like an internship. I was doing good in uni and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, I'm just like, wanted to change. Like, I really wanted to change. I went from computer science. I still am in computer science, but now I think my passion really is like streaming and YouTube and all that stuff. So we're going to see what if I'm an archetype like that. We'll see. Oh, maybe you guys are too. We'll see.
We'll sprint toward college like it's the finish line. Others clock into a job 2 days later like, yep, this is life now.
Yep, not
and
me
then there's
anymore.
the rest of us just sitting in our rooms like, should I start a podcast or a pyramid scheme? Let's talk about it. The types of people after high school and how weird this phase of life actually is. Starting off, we have the college dreamer. These are kids that always knew they were going to college. They had a dream school, a major, a life plan, a backup plan, and a backup for their backup. They got their dorm set up off Pinterest.
Dude, that's the thing. I knew so many people like this in high school. I was one of them, but then things just changed. Like, I never would have, like, I always wanted to be a YouTuber. Like, it was in the back of my mind, but I'm like, it wasn't realistic. And then things just happened, and then I just started doing it. And then now I'm just in love with it. And I just want to keep going and forward and keep growing because I love this shit so much. This is my passion. And that just shows to me, like, the archetypes can change all the time from the people in high school to people after high school and university. Life just moves so quick. Like, let me know below in the comment section if you knew anyone that was like so set on something in high school and then a complete 180 change, 360, 180, boom, 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 into something different. I don't know. Comment down below. I feel like it's a lot more common because high school is such like such a bubble. Like, you're in a bubble to the real world, and you always hear your parents when you're in high school saying, you know, the real world's so different, like, enjoy high school while it lasts. And it's true, but you don't really ingest that info and like actually reflect on it and use it. It kind of just goes in one ear out the other, and you're like, what? Why would I miss high school? I hate high school. And then when it actually is done, most people are like, yeah, I do miss high school, because it's a bubble. And then once you're in the real world, most people don't like the real world. Like, it's just problems, making money, relationships, socializing, like jobs, a big thing. Like, most people just don't even like their jobs that they spent 12 years plus, 18 years of their life working towards in high school. Do you know what I'm saying?
Joined a Discord server for their class before orientation and had their roommate's name memorized before they even graduated high school. Fast forward a few weeks and it's like, yeah, I'm 14 grand in debt, I hate my major, and my roommate's been coughing since the second week of school. College is cool if you know what you're doing, but most people don't.
True. And can I just say something as well? If you're in America and you have the whole dorm room situation, like you have a roommate and all that, count your blessings. You are so lucky. Now, okay, I'm speaking, I don't have experience because the reason I'm talking about this anyways, in Australia, we don't have like dorm rooms, like situations. We stay at home or we rent a place near, we don't really rent a place. Usually where I'm from, like Sydney, New South Wales, most people as well in Australia, we don't actually move in with roommates. There is roommates, there is dorm rooms and stuff at university, but most people don't do it that are domestic. Like, we stay at home and we just take a train to uni, come back home. We don't have any dorm rooms. And it kind of feels very disconnected. I heard from COVID, like before COVID, there was no like real online classes. The community in college and university is way different in Australia to what it is now. I feel absolutely disconnected. Maybe it's on me for not like doing, you know, like clubs, and you can have clubs and all that in university. But I feel like a lot of people that I know in university say the same thing. It's very disconnected compared to what I hear about in America, where you like sleep with a dorm, you have a roommate, all that stuff, and the parties. It's just not the same.
People just go because they're told to by parents, teachers, guidance counselors, and the ghost of the American dream. And now you're paying 40 grand a year just to cry in a communal bathroom.
Yeah.
Fun times. Then there's the people who skip college and go straight into the workforce. They start working warehouse jobs, retail, construction, whatever gets the bills paid. They're making money, stacking checks, and eating out every night because they still live at home and only have 3 bills. At first it sounds smart. You're making money right away, no student loans hanging over your head, and your weekends are free if you're lucky. You start thinking, hey, this might actually be a better path. But then the reality sets in. The hours are long, the pay isn't as life-changing as you thought, you're constantly tired physically and mentally, you go home drained, you wake up drained, and every day starts blurring together. You're surrounded by people twice your age who have been there since before you were even born, and they'll say things like, it's not great, but it's a job, or at least it's stable. They're not chasing anything, they're just surviving. And then that's when it hits you. This isn't a launch pad, this is where people stay, because they don't have time, energy, or options left to go anywhere else. It becomes...
You know what? Like, I guess this could also apply. Actually, it doesn't really apply. I was going to say, like, there's like tradies, like you get a trade like a plumber or electrician. It's not the same. It's not the same as like this is just going to like a warehouse and working there. I mean, here's the thing though. I think this applies right now, but okay, this is like, so like I'm laughing a lot right now, but the situation of AI, like maybe a lot of these jobs that people are getting degrees for, maybe they're very different in the future, or maybe they just don't exist. All this white collar job stuff. Because you use AI, like most people don't actually know the true like utilization they can, not utilization, the true like power they can have with AI. Most people just think AI is just typing into a chat, like ChatGPT on a website, getting a response, copy pasting that in somewhere else. Most people, and I feel like I'm saying most people, and I can say this most people because I have experience in like computer science and software engineering and using the tools that extend beyond just the website. They interact directly with your computer. They can access your file systems. They practically have no difference from a real human with a keyboard and mouse at a computer at all, because they have complete access to the computer. And realistically, maybe it's like a curve and it's going to slow down in progress, but where they're at already right now is insanely good. We're not using them to their potential, and I feel like it's only going to get better unless like the costs just become too high, or maybe there'll be a balance struck with workers and AI. But my whole point of this like rant is maybe these people that are getting just jobs without degrees, like at a warehouse or something, you know, it's hard work. No one really likes it. Like realistically, maybe they will be in a better position if AI just continues at the progress it's at right now, is what I'm trying to say.
Routine, wake up, commute, work, home, sleep. Do that for the rest of your life with maybe 2 weeks off per year if your boss approves the PTO. And for a lot of people, the scariest part isn't even the job itself. It's the idea that you could blink and suddenly be like 40, still there, still stuck, wondering what your life could have been if you'd done something else.
True.
Then there's that person, the one who said, I'm taking a gap year. Not because they couldn't go to college, not because they had a plan, but because they needed to find themselves, to travel, to breathe, to experience the world. You ask them where they're going, and they'll hit you with, I'm thinking Europe or maybe Southeast Asia. You know, go off the grid for a bit. 6 months later, they
always Europe or Asia. It's never been any different. Always Europe or Asia, bro.
Haven't gone further than the local Taco Bell. They wake up at 2 p.m., scroll TikTok for 3 hours, and then tweet something deep like healing isn't linear. Their idea of working on themselves is watching 3-hour video essays on YouTube about movies they've never seen. They download...
I'm really a big believer in this. Like when the self-help niche, I feel genuinely, because I used to do it, like I would read the self-help books, I will listen to the self-help podcasts. I feel like it's all a sham. Like you don't, it's the illusion of making progress and learning and doing stuff, but it's an illusion. You're not actually doing stuff. I think the biggest piece of self-help you can get is to try something and fail at it and try again and just keep repeating that. That is the only thing I've seen in life that actually leads to progress, because there was like maybe a year period in my life where I'm like, oh, I want to start a business. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to read this book. I read 0 to 1. Boom. I read Atomic Habits. Boom. I listen to these daily podcasts where it's like an hour long and they're like interviewing people that do businesses. And then after a couple months, you're like, you really think to yourself, like, did I learn anything like I could actually use? Did I even make any progress compared to the months ago? No, the answer usually is no, because you only can make progress in life from doing something and making actions. And it's an illusion to yourself when you listen to these self-help things that you're actually making progress when you're not.
Downloaded Duolingo to learn French but stopped after bonjour. They keep saying they're going to start a clothing brand, and they did design one hoodie in Canva that they haven't posted because they're waiting for the right vibe.
And remember, you in life, to succeed, okay, I'm saying this without having succeeded, but to succeed, all you need to do is try something, fail at it, and get up again, and just keep repeating that and improving every time. It's just a process. It's a boring process. This is why no one really makes progress in life, because as you said, they stop. Straight away, they stop. I used to do it all the time. Streaming is the one thing, content is the one thing where I've continually for the past 9 months, even with the streams where I get 3 viewers, 2 viewers, 1 viewer for months, I would keep improving, repeating, improving, failing, repeating, failing, hating my life because this is what I want to do, but it's not working out. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to keep trying until I succeed. And you can apply it to anything: computer science, university, relationships. You know, it's not the same, but you get what I'm saying. Like you can read all the books about being in a relationship, but you're not going to learn unless you're in a relationship, right? And just improving constantly. That's all you got to do. Action is the main thing. Doesn't matter how many times you fall down. All that matters is you get back up.
Listen, there's no shame in taking a break. Sometimes that time off is necessary, especially if school has burnt you out. But the problem is this break becomes your whole life. You know, 1 month becomes 3, 3 becomes 6. And before you know it, they've built a full routine around doing absolutely nothing.
100%.
Wake up late, stare at a wall, play some Valorant, hit up their local gas station for dinner, and repeat. But they'll keep saying, trust me, bro, I got plans. And when you ask what those plans are, it's always vague. Big things coming. I'm in a building phase right now. No, you're not. You're in pajamas at 4 p.m. They'll talk about launching something like their Elon Musk, but the closest thing they've launched is a DoorDash order. They keep referencing
and that was me. I'm telling you, the amount of progress I've made since being exactly like the person he's describing right now and actually getting over that phase where you start something and quitting and then not improving and repeating yourself. That's what's made the biggest difference in my entire life.
Economy, like it's the reason they haven't made a move yet. Like, I mean, with inflation, the way it is right now, bro, you don't even pay for gas. What are you talking about? And look, we've all been there to some extent. You know, the weird limbo phase. You're technically free. You don't owe anyone anything. You're just kind of floating. And for a while, that can feel amazing. You're not answering to teachers. You're not stuck in a classroom. You're not dealing with exams or deadlines. But if you're not careful, that float becomes a free fall. You stop making decisions. You stop trying. And you convince yourself that you're waiting for the right moment when really you're just scared to start.
Exactly. You have to make your start. It doesn't matter how scary it is. It gets better once you start. I'm telling you, I feel like there's just this huge barrier where people don't want to start. And then there's an even bigger barrier after that where they fail and they don't see progress. But then after that, you start enjoying the process. And that's when you actually make the most difference for yourself.
Years are fine. Resting is fine. Vibing is fine. But if your gap year turns into a gap decade and your life plan still revolves around a clothing brand that does not exist yet, maybe it's time to clock back in. Next up, we have the friend who straight up disappears after high school. High school ends and this person vanishes like it's a Marvel post-credit scene. One minute they were at every hangout, every group chat, every chaotic late night Discord call, then poof, they're gone. They stop replying. They leave the Snap group chat without saying a word. They're not mad. They're not beefing. They just dipped. At first, you're like, maybe they're busy, but then weeks turn into months. Birthdays go by. Inside jokes get forgotten. And the next time you think of them is because Instagram reminded you with one of those weird people you may know stories where they're standing in front of a Jeep with a quote like, only forward from here. Then one day out of nowhere, you run into them. Target, gas station, Taco Bell, doesn't matter. And it's the weirdest interaction of your life. Oh my God, how have you been? Good, I'm just working a lot, grinding. Yeah, grinding what?
That's so true. And I honestly, it's so weird. In high school, you think you're with these people every day, pretty much. You're with these people every day. You can't imagine a life without seeing them. And then it hits the first month, you see them sometimes, and then it just like stops. And you realize that might be the last time I've ever seen them in my entire life. Like it just keeps going and you just don't hear about them. And also, what he said before about like it being awkward, that can happen. But I feel like there's been situations where I've interacted with people like this and it's like I haven't even like left them for a day, like it still acts like we still act exactly like best friends and stuff. Like it doesn't matter. It's sometimes it's the opposite of awkward. It's like you're still best friends, and then the next day you never see him for another couple of months, and then you see him again, and it's like nothing. There was no time in between at all. Like, it's very weird.
No one knows.
It's like either or.
Oh, you're half expecting them to tell you they're a freelance monk or something. And the thing is, they're not weird or rude or distant when you see them again. They're chill, they're polite. It's like catching up with a coworker you forgot you used to be best friends with. You part ways with some, awkward, let's hang soon energy, knowing damn well it's never happening. And it's not a bad thing, really. It's just what happens. People drift, they move towns, they get new jobs, new circles, new priorities.
Exactly.
But it still hits you sideways when someone who was in your life every single day just becomes a memory. You start realizing how many friendships were based on proximity, not purpose. Y'all weren't soulmates, y'all just sat next to each other in biology for 4 years.
100%.
And it's weird because when it happens, you think you did something wrong. Like, did I say something? Did I forget to reply to something important? No, they're just on a different path now, and that's okay. It still stings, but it's okay. Eventually, you'll be that person to someone else too. You'll vanish from their life, pop up months later.
100%.
Yo, it's been a minute, DM with no explanation. And that's just how life moves after high school, Friendships stop being automatic. You actually have to put effort in, and if neither of you do, that bond just fades. Not out of malice or hatred, just out of life. Sorry, I'll try to keep it lighthearted, not to get too existential with you guys. All right, next up, we got the bum. There's the gap year person, and then there's their final form, the bum. Because the gap
You kind of look like me.
year person pretends that there's a plan. The bum, they're not even pretending anymore. They're in a deep void, no goals, no job, no plan, just vibes, vape clouds, and a mattress on the floor. Their sleep schedule doesn't...
I feel like, okay, real shit right now. I feel like a lot of people don't know I stream and make content. They just know I'm in university, right? And they know I've been unemployed for like 9 months, and they think like I'm actually a bum. But like, I don't know, guys. I haven't told many people, because I feel like when you start something, you want less people to know. I feel like because you don't want outside influence, you want to just work on yourself. And also, there's like a study where if you tell someone something that you're gonna do, like you want to start a business, you say I'm gonna start a business, you actually much less likely to actually do what you said, because you get the dopamine from saying it to someone and you feel good, and then it drops, and then when you actually have to do it, that's when things don't look good, because you have to actually put in effort and you have less chances of actually succeeding in what you wanted to do, if you know what I mean.
Exist. They just collapse at random. They've watched 18 seasons of Grey's Anatomy this month alone. Yeah. Every day is just a blur of TikToks, microwave burritos, and I'll do it tomorrow. You ask them what they're up to, and they'll go, just chilling lately, trying to figure stuff out. Bro, it's been a year. What are you trying to figure out? Shapes? They'll randomly bring up business ideas that sound like fever dreams, like, I might start a CBD candle line. I've been looking into, vending machines and passive income, You look over and they're watching a 6-hour YouTube documentary on crypto by a guy named Finance Daddy. They haven't applied to a single job, not because they're unqualified, but because they haven't updated their resume since 10th grade when they worked at Chuck E. Cheese for 2 weeks. And here's the thing, it didn't start this way. Most of the time, the bum used to be the gap year person. They took a break to chill and they just never got back up. It's like when your computer goes into sleep mode but never wakes back up, that's them. It's being stuck in like a permanent loading screen. And that's kind of the post-high school lineup. There's definitely some people I haven't covered, so 10,000 likes for a part 2. Whether you're in college pretending to take notes on a Zoom class or working 10-hour shifts debating if a Costco membership counts as an investment, you're not alone. None of us know what we're doing, and the ones that do, they're probably faking it better than the rest of us. Everyone moves at their own pace. Some people jump ahead and crash. Some fall behind and catch up later. Some disappear and come back with a beard and a business. But no matter where you're at, just don't get stuck. Don't let temporary become forever. Don't let comfort become your cage. And definitely don't convince yourself that burnout means you're just mature. That's not maturity. That's just poor hygiene and caffeine addiction. So take your time, take a nap, take a risk, but whatever you do, don't take advice from that one guy selling a $97 course on how to escape the Matrix. Okay, goodbye.
Yo, W video, honestly, it made me reflect so much on myself. Okay, I don't want to put it in the universe, but if content streaming doesn't work out, where do I see myself at? It scares me a little bit, because guys, when you want something so bad, you're willing to put in everything and sacrifice everything, but you always hear the winner stories of people winning, and they say, oh, I sold my house and it worked out. You don't really hear about the people that didn't make it. So I guess we'll see where I turn out, what I turn out to be, but definitely not a bum. I will continue university. So anyway, guys, W video, subscribe, peace out.